Welcome back to Collective Conversations, the podcast where we have real conversations that help young people, families, educators, and communities discover opportunities, unlock potential, and build brighter futures. Today, we're going to be speaking about career paths that nobody talks about. Most people are asked about their future career paths. Some of the answers are the same. We often hear lawyer, doctor, teachers, athletes, or engineers. While those careers are certainly valuable, there are thousands of rewarding pathways that often get overlooked. So today we're going to explore four career pathways that definitely deserve more attention. Skilled trades, entrepreneurship, public service careers, and technology certifications. These careers offer opportunities, stability, purpose, and in many cases, strong earning potential without requiring a traditional four-year degree. So whether you're a student trying to figure out your next step, a parent supporting a young person, or an educator helping to shape future lives, this conversation is for you. So I think to start, I'd like to talk about why the expansion of career exploration is important. Why do we need to even be having this conversation? I think especially I think it's getting better with the trades and the schools being given the proper attention more so now than they were. But I know in the 90s, it was a four-year college degree or bust, and that's just simply not the case.
And I think we've had, it's been a great, month that we've had, and had some graduates on, some pursuing college, some graduating from college, right? There's something else though. There's also these skilled trades that, you can also pick up and then make a career out of. And I think, and I like I said, before I went to like a great ceremony for ACT, Academy of Careers, and I think it was a great thing. Tons of people there. I mean, I think it was over 300 graduates from ACT, so it's strong, and I believe that too. And like I said before, but I think it's also worth mentioning. Why I say that is because, not everybody's going to go to college, right? And you always have that. You always have the one of those things they talk about. Well, why do I need to be $60,000 in debt, right? And then no job. Or, no debt and then have a job. So, which one is it? And have definitely a $60,000 career. So you can look at it a lot differently. But, America, we need what? We need electricians, we need welders, plumbers, HVAC tech, heavy equipment, police officers, right? Is another thing we're speaking about. And also, definitely tech. A lot of IT. Everything's ran, but a lot by computers now. And so definitely having somebody in there that can really do these things. And it's like I said before, sometimes it is. And a lot of times a trade person makes more than a college graduate. And that's what you see. Listen, I'm not deterring anyone from going to college. I went to college, so I get it. But I also know the power in, these skilled trades and, in public service careers. I know the power in those as well. So that's what we kind of here to talk about. And, like I said before, I'm glad you're here, Chad, come sit down and talk a little bit about this. And the first thing, thing I want to talk about are skilled trades. Let's get into it. This is, the first thing, our topic should be skilled trades. And it's really a big workforce. When we think about skilled trades. And like I said, if we're going back to it, those are more the electrician, the welders, the plumbers, the HVAC, right? Those are more of those things. And like I said, for getting those skills down is a big thing. Because it takes skill, like I said, in order to do these things, and you want to know what you're doing. And nobody really, when the lights go out, who we calling? When the pipes burst, who we calling, right? When the roads need repaired, who we calling? And that's the thing, when the internet goes down, who we calling? The internet went down here yesterday, and it was like, scary because, we have so many things connected to it as far as, with paperwork and stuff like that, and it goes down.
Yeah.
Who we calling? I mean, I'm on the phone, trying to get in now. It's a lot of it's, when we talk about, fixing things, it's a lot of, chat things we're doing. So that's a lot different than it was before. So, and that's the thing. But we need to celebrate these careers. We need to celebrate these careers because it means something.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it means something a lot. And that's why. And let me ask you a question. Why do you think, Chad, the society kind of views these trades as less than?
Yeah,
in your own opinion. This, of course, is your own opinion.
I think, I believe that overall society tends to look at white collar, blue collar. And while that's an acceptable classification in jobs, somewhere along the way, we associate a white collar with higher class and blue collar with lower class. Is that right? Absolutely not. But, I know a lot of people, similar age as me and younger, that opted into going to college and going to a 4-year degree to take to get a career that wouldn't have paid them as much if they had gone the blue collar route and learned a skilled trade, but they saw that as a status symbol. I work in an HR department at company A as opposed to I'm a plumber. That's the stereotypes, if you will, that we place on these jobs. Well, in reality, that person that's working, that has that degree, but probably also that debt that comes with the college education oftentimes. What we don't see and what they don't think about at that time is that plumber is probably making 4 times the amount of money at, entry level.
Something you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of the big things is, the physical demands, right? Those things, job security, which you have with skilled trade, Also, union opportunities, benefit packages that we have, right? Like insurance and different things like that, life insurance even as well, and also career advancement. So this is some of the things that you start to see. A lot of, people who are, have a skilled trade, right, and work it, they own homes, businesses, because, a lot of sometimes when we're talking about entrepreneurship here in a little bit, and also rental property. So even sometimes before this episode is definitely not versus. It's definitely to celebrate those career paths other than, the ones that people don't talk about, because we don't usually think of it like that, but they mean something.
And as you said, college is not for everyone, but also the trades and, going the blue collar route is not for everyone, and that's okay. We need everyone to come together. For instance, I was really pushed toward going the college route, a few years ago, but I went the opposite, and I worked a lot of years in blue collar jobs, and I'm thankful for the education that taught me. But, as I matured, I realized, college had a lot to offer me. There were a lot of things that I was interested in, and that, of course, and you can pivot. I guess that's my message,
Right.
And college, like you said, college was definitely not discouraging anyone from going to college. I'm going right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the things, when we speak about, but being in Southern West Virginia where we live, right, one of those things is, some of the mining industries. I think a lot of that has, kind of dissipated. Not saying they're not out there, right? But that wasn't the only thing. That was the only thing at one time. Welding now, a lot of electrical things, HVAC, CDLs, you see is a lot as well, and also heavy equipment. And we're always doing construction. I'm sometimes some kind of construction or some kind of repair on the roads around here, even outside here as well. So it's one of those things. So it's always opportunity there, and that's one of the things that's a good thing as well. So I look, I think thank goodness for the people who are getting into these skilled trades and be able to help, because they're pros in itself. I mean, let's get it right. They're pros in itself. I know we always talk about, and like I said before, this is definitely not one of those things. And we should be able to celebrate, career paths that anyone might take. I mean, I always say, one of those things is, it's about career. Really, supplanting yourself in something that you can do and earn a good living off of for years to come. And that's exactly what we need to do. And that's, like I said, skills are a way to do that as well. And that's, one of the things we talk about. There are other ones now in our area too, like I was saying, especially with the IT coming into play now as well. Now, the only thing about Southern West Virginia, some of them are limited as well. But getting a trade and then moving out, I know that's, and I hate that, because I know we have a lot of people who work and then, go to school and then they end up working in some other state because the pay's better and more opportunity. And I get that. Hopefully we can get some more down here. And I think it's getting better. I believe some of the things that we're doing is getting better. So but we have to like I said, put the work in order for that to happen. We have to put the work in order for, definitely things to be that way. But, lights won't come on without electricians. We know that. And that's the thing. And the waters won't flow without plumbers. So while, they're not glamorized, I don't know why not. I mean, because if you think about it in your own mind, if some of these things do break down, how much are we paying?
Exactly.
I mean, so,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I was just thinking as you were talking,